Good morning, everyone. On this Wednesday of the 18th week in Ordinary Time, we're reading in the book of Numbers. We're in chapter 13, verses 1 through 2, 25 through chapter 14, verse 1, and still in chapter 14, 26a through 29a, and then verses 34 and 35. The Lord said to Moses in the desert of Paran, "Send men to reconquer the land of Canaan, which I am giving to the children of Israel. You shall send one man from each ancestral tribe, all of them princes." After reconquering the land for 40 days, they returned, met Moses and Aaron and the whole congregation of the children of Israel in the desert of Paran at Kadesh, made a report to them all, and showed the fruit of the country to the whole congregation. They told Moses, "We went into the land to which you sent us. It does indeed flow with milk and honey, and here's its fruit. However, the people who are living in the land are fierce, and the towns are fortified and very strong. Besides, we saw descendants of the Anakim there. Amalekites live in the region of the Negev. Hittites, Jebusites, Amorites dwell in the highlands, and Canaanites along the seacoast and the banks of the Jordan." Caleb, however, to quiet the people towards Moses, said, "We ought to go up and seize the land, for we can certainly do it." But the men who had gone up with him said, "We cannot attack these people. They are too strong for us." So they spread discouraging reports among the children of Israel about the land they had scouted, saying, "The land that we explored is a country that consumes its inhabitants. And all the people we saw there are huge men, veritable giants. The Anakim were a race of giants. We felt like mere grasshoppers, and so we must have seemed to them." At this, the whole community broke out with loud cries, and even in the night the people wailed. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "How long will this wicked assembly grumble against me? I have heard the grumblings of the children of Israel against me. Tell them, 'By my life, says the Lord, I will do to you just what you have heard you say. Here in the desert shall your dead bodies fall. 40 days you spent in scouting the land, 40 years shall you suffer for your crimes. 1 year for each day. Thus you will realize what it means to oppose me. I, the Lord, have sworn to do this to all this wicked assembly that conspired against me. Here in the desert they shall die to the last man." The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Pretty incredible report that's being shown to us in the book of Numbers. I think the first thing that comes across here is the effects sin has in our lives. There's a long-term effect in our lives, which we all pretty much figure out if we've been alive long enough, that some of those habits that we've had in our lives, perhaps for a long period of time, it's harder to get them weeded out. Much harder. It takes time. 40 days, well, you're going to get 40 years. It shows the ramifications that sin has. Second of all, another thing is that the opposition is not just opposition to, let's say Moses. No, it was opposition to what God was doing. It was God who brought them out of the land of Egypt, that gave them, redemption out of there, from the slavery from there. God was the one who was feeding them all along the way. And yet along this was this opposition to move forward, to go forward what he wants. Instead of looking towards the Lord, they looked at the circumstances which seem overwhelming. And yes, circumstances may seem very overwhelming in our life. Those are those points in which our faith is stretched. So, what can we take from this? I think it's an opportunity for us to evaluate in our own lives. When things get tough, where do we turn first? To the problems or to the Lord? Stay safe, folks. Hopefully we see each other soon. Bye for now.